Hello, I am a tattoo artist and I am on the floor right now, and there is reason for it. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do it on the floor because then you get to see all the pretty things that are going on back here. And these are some of the things that I do want to show. I just need to get a tripod that can go up higher than this. But nonetheless, because of this, then we get to sit on the floor and we get to hang out and stretch. So today I've got a sweet matcha, the one that in my previous video I said I didn't really like. I hope you can hear that sound. I hope it's not the worst thing ever. Nonetheless, this matcha I don't love that much, but I have a rice milk in it, and I do really like the rice milk. This is the first thing of it that I've bought for ever, and I really like it. I like rice milk. I'm gonna keep getting it. But nonetheless, it's an okay matcha. It's not fantastic. But today, let's chit-chat, let's stretch a little bit, some self-care stuff, and talk about why I love tattooing, why it has so much meaning for me, why it is such a uniquely special art form that I think is just the coolest one, in my opinion. So there's a lot of different art in a lot of different forms, and I feel like there's a lot of different forms of art, say stuff like dancing or martial arts or stuff like that is very performance-based, so hence it's not particularly solitary like a lot of other forms of art, like a lot of 2D type of art. I feel like you always think about the artist kind of hiding in their room and doing art until 4 a.m. and not talking to anyone, and that's definitely been me my whole life. I grew up as an only child, and I found that the best way that I can entertain myself is with art, and I definitely had a want and a push towards it. But nonetheless, I was always kind of solitary and just hanging out and doing my art, and I wasn't particularly used to the people around me, I guess, doing art. But I guess I realized that my martial arts career was very much the pole that made that a little bit different. But nonetheless, art in a lot of different capacities is either with people or without people, and I think that within tattooing, it is so about people in a way artistically that I don't think is so connected with all the other ones nearly as much as tattooing is, because it's so people-based. I mean, it's on people, it's on people's bodies for the rest of time. It's so personal, and that's just so cool. It's so incredibly personal and so special, and that's a big part of it that I love so much, is the body autonomy type of side of it, of taking back your body. That's a part that I think matters almost more than anything, is that I have the ability to help people make their own choices for their bodies and get to decide what they do for themselves, rather than someone else deciding for them. It's on their body. They go to me to decide on a design, and we do it together. And obviously my side of things is I have to get this right to make sure that this person really truly likes it, because in reality I could do something that they might not like, and then I take control over their body in some capacity. And I guess that's the part of it that's very scary. It's very intimidating, but that's also the factor of trust and one getting better and continuing to improve within tattooing to a point where they can communicate as best as they possibly can to their clients and be able to do the best work possible to make every client happy as much as they ever possibly can. It's not 100% possible, but you can try. That's just such a cool thing. It's just so connecting, and it's so special, and you get to talk to people all day long, and that's really hard. It's really hard because it's all based around life, and life has so many good things and so many bad things, but there's always so many topics that we get onto that are rough, and that's a hard part of the job, but it's also one of the best parts of the job. That's something that I find incredibly important, is people connect to me, and people are willing to tell me things, and people are willing to open up because they're healing. And the healing aspect of tattooing, I think, is one of the coolest things ever, and I think is so incredibly important, and maybe a thing that I feel like we don't focus on nearly as much as I feel like we should, because that's just so cool. I love it so much. It's so human, and it's so us, and we've been doing it for forever. And it's always been connected to something special, and there's been tons of different cultures that have been doing this for forever. We have evidence of indigenous Americans here in Utah. I think it was 2,300 years ago, some tattoo equipment that they found. That's so cool. There's different cultures that have used their ancestors' bones as tattoo equipment to tattoo themselves. That's so sick. I love that. That's so cool. And there's so much beauty connected to that. I've seen so many cool things and have been able to learn so many cool historical things about just what we've been doing, and being a person that gets to do this now and knowing that there's thousands of people in the past that have done this, and that's just the coolest thing ever. I love it so much. I'm a big history fan. I love that type of stuff. It's such a thing in my heart, especially ancient Egypt. If you know, that's my jam. That's my favorite thing ever. They were some of the first ones to do specific types of tattooing, which is really cool. They did the first, like, as far as we understand, they did kind of like the first forms. So like different imagery, so different imagery that actually is recognizable to us rather than lines and dots and things. They would do things like fire and water and different gods and goddesses, the Eye of Horus or Ra, all sorts of different stuff that we could actually see like true imagery. That's so cool. And that was 5,000 years ago, and I get to do that now. That's incredibly special. That's the coolest thing I could ever possibly do. And to know that we have that evidence of us doing that so long ago that we can still see is the coolest thing. And somehow we've found ways to be able to preserve ourselves so well that now we can find old people's, it sounds weird, mummies or different preserved peoples of the past. We could see their skin because it was preserved so well, and we could actually see what they got tattooed. And that's so cool. And it makes me think, like, I want to do that too. Like, that's such a cool thing. There's probably going to be a kitty in the way, by the way. To know that maybe I can be preserved, and that other people can see me in the future just like they did all of those people of the past. That's so dope. I love that. And that's just a cool thing. I don't know. So if you don't already know, you might have already kind of figured out a little bit from this video. I'm very spiritual in a lot of different ways. I connect a lot to the past and the history, and I think that that's a part of why I feel like I'm so spiritual, because I connect to those things of the past that we've did that I like. I like that idea. I'm gonna connect with that and appreciate it, you know? But nonetheless, that's a part of what makes tattooing so special for me, is the spiritual aspect of it. I very much think of it as an energy transfer. It's a healing type of ritual. It's breaking yourself up and opening yourself up to be able to let go of things, and pain therapy. I think that in certain respects, pain can be something that can help you, again, very much in certain respects. Not all of the things, but I think that sometimes going through something that is a little bit difficult, it is a little bit painful, and earning something special out of it to remember what you've gone through could be a good thing, depending on the person, depending on the time period, etc. Again, very specifically. There's a reason I don't really do walk-in tattoos anymore. I don't want to be anyone's blade. And we can talk about that in a video specifically. I think that that's a really interesting topic that I've talked to a lot of people about. But nonetheless, I think it can really actually help people. There's several tattoos that I have on myself that are reminders to myself, things that I look at and remember, okay, I need to get better at this. I need to remember to not do these things, kind of keep myself accountable. And those things can be really, really helpful. A lot of people that I've tattooed get their scars cover up for a certain reason. Covered up, wow. And there's specific reasons as to why they do that. For me, I have those as well, and a reason that I have covered them up is it helps me not continue to do those things that are not good for me. That helps me. That's a healing thing for me and a good reminder, and it helps push me to continue to get better. And that's just so cool, and I know that that is the same for some people as well, which is just awesome that ink that we create and get needles and we poke you can do that. That's such a cool thing, and it's so beautiful, and it's so human, it's so us. And there's just nothing better than that. That's just seeing people get better and seeing people happy and continuing to create themselves in the way that they want to is so incredibly cool to me. I absolutely love it. It is so truly beautiful and us, and it's just so cool. I love it so much. I wish that people wouldn't get terrible things on themselves. Like bad stuff. I get silly tattoos. I get like bad stick and pokes and stuff like that. I get it. I would recommend you not. As a tattooer that does it professionally, I would recommend you at least do safe tattoos. But like very concerning symbols with 4 prongs that kind of come out, that kind of twist around, you know what I'm talking about? Come on, guys. You're messing it up for all of us. Tattooing is just simply the coolest thing that I could ever do. I think it is very much made for certain people and very much not made for everyone. It is a very difficult job. There's so many things that make it incredibly difficult, and that's what I love about it. That's what feels so right to me. I've only been doing this for 5 years, so I'm very, very new to it. In the grand scheme of things, I just got here. And I already had this much of a love for it, and I've figured it out to a point where I know that I will continue as long as I ever possibly can, because I have realized how beautiful and fantastic this craft is, and I can't wait to just keep going. I can't wait to hit the 10-year mark and the 20-year mark. And I really want to try to get to at least 35 years. That's my goal, is at least get to the 35-year mark, hopefully 40 to 50, depending on how technology goes and my body. That's a whole different story. We're really hoping that I can magically heal. But I'll keep hoping for it. I don't want to send any bad negative energy. Knock on wood. Let's knock on some more wood, even some more. This is legit wood too. This is like real stuff. So it's a beautiful job. I love it so much. It's the coolest thing ever. Sometimes I call it work. Sometimes I call it a job. But for me, that is very honoring. That's how I go about things, is that a job is like, that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I'm meant for, and that's what tattooing is to me, is something that I feel like I'm meant for. I feel like you're born to be something, and for me, that's how I feel, and I love it, and I just want to keep going and keep getting better and keep doing the coolest things and be able to help people. I love it. It's the coolest thing ever. But nonetheless, that's my little rant. Hang out on the floor. I have been doing some stretches. You might not see it very well, but I really have. This is my mantra. I'm hanging out with you. I appreciate listening to this video. I really do. I really enjoy long-form content. I far prefer just being able to speak and just chill. So I hope that it's chill enough for y'all as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope that you have a good day. Thank you for listening. I'd appreciate any little comments down below about how you might feel, how you might think. I really want this community that I might hopefully maybe start conjuring up can be a communication community. Just talking to people, connecting, even if you disagree. I just want people to be able to speak chill to one another and discuss ideas. As a 5-year tattooer, I feel like there's been a lot of criticism of me just kind of talking online in general, and being able to share my opinions, because I've only been here for like a second, which I get. I have only been here for 5 years. That's not that much time. But I just want to talk. And this is a way to get my voice out here so that I can talk to other people. And if you disagree with anything that I say, please tell me. I'd love to have a discussion with you. That's how we can all get better. And I just want to get better. And I want that openness, because I think it's far more productive than anything. And I just don't feel like we talk or debate anymore. And I think it would be the best thing if we want to continue going as a society, as a people, and as a hopefully in the future little community on the onlines. Nonetheless, I appreciate you being here again. I hope that you have a good day. Thank you for listening. Bye.